The Nintendo Switch is quickly going down in history as not only one of the best-selling consoles of all time, but also as having one of the biggest, most diverse libraries. Unlike their competitors though, very rarely do you see a title take significant drops in its complete in-box prices a few months after release. That's not to say Sony or Microsoft don't have some very valuable titles, but we all know the Switch tax is totally a thing. This list doesn't include any lavish collector's editions. These are 7 games that months or even years after release have either risen in value or stayed right at retail. The demand is obviously still there, and as we approach the finale of the Switch's life cycle and supply dwindles, we can expect these games to become even more valuable. Let's get into it. The first released on our list is Valis, the Phantasm Soldier Collection. The original Valis game was released in 1986 for the PC-88. The next titles would release on the TurboGrafx-16 and Sega Mega Drive. The series focuses on a Japanese schoolgirl who is fated to protect the realms with a magical sword known as Valis. The game's a pretty standard platforming fare, with terrific sprite work and graphics. The series also became known for its lovely anime-style interstitial cutscenes between each stage. It also became infamous for risque scenes with peeks at bras and panties. This would later devolve into something much more explicit, as the series changed hands numerous times and the 5th title was released as an erotic novel with heavy emphasis on tentacle monsters. Thankfully, this collection is safe for work and does not include that 5th game. It was released through Limited Run Games and currently fetches $47 complete in box, even 2 years after its release. A second collection was released, and a third was released in Japan. Code of Princess was released in 2012 by Atlus for the Nintendo 3DS. It later received an enhanced port to the Nintendo Switch in 2018, known as Code of Princess EX. The game was inspired by Guardian Heroes from the Sega Saturn. It features hack-and-slash gameplay with heavy RPG elements added. Characters gain levels at the end of each battle, and there is a quite robust equipment system. The main game has 4 playable characters, but free play and various special missions allow for up to 50 playable characters. The story is fun and off the wall, including body stealing, piecing together corpses to inhabit, femboy bards, tiny little sorcerers, and a gratuitous amount of fan service. There are multiple endings to the game, and plenty of replayability and grind potential with free play and the various extra missions. I honestly was not impressed by this game my first time around, but when I captured the footage for this video, I had a blast. The graphics and art are crisp and beautiful, the voice acting superb and at times hilarious, and the combat is fun and engaging once you get the hang of it. The game was known for quite some time as one of the rarer titles on the Switch. About a year or so ago, a reprint was done, greatly impacting the price of the title. The price for a complete in-box copy had spiked at over $100, but now hovers around the $49 mark. Token Ranbu Warriors was released in 2022 for the Nintendo Switch and Windows. It is a collaboration between the famous visual novel house Ruby Party and Omega Force, together under Tecmo Koei. The story and dating aspects are handled by Ruby Party, the combat by Omega Force. The game takes on the hack-and-slash playstyle of the Dynasty Warriors series. Much like Blue Reflection, the game focuses solely on one gender, with no females present in the story. The Token Danchi, personifications of famous blades and weapons from history, must fight off the retrograde army, who are hell-bent on changing Japanese history for the worst. You travel across time and through Edo period Japan to right the anomalies the army is causing. The gameplay is standard hack-and-slash fare you'd see in any Koei Tecmo or Bandai licensed title, with fun slice of life and friendship and dating elements thrown in between battles. The art is phenomenal as usual for the series. This is not a game I really saw anywhere else than the one copy I picked up day one at my local GameStop. It can be found online, but it has never really dropped below the original retail offering price. You can slice through time with the Danchi for around $49 complete in box. Though I would suggest picking this one up as soon as possible, As with the low initial print run and obscurity of the Token Ranbu series, I see this going the way many other TK crossovers have, like Berserk and the Band of the Hawk and the Attack on Titans games, and quickly rising in value as the life cycle of the Switch comes to a close. Hyrule Warriors was released in 2014 for the Wii U and went on to become one of the best-selling titles on the console. It later received numerous DLCs and a port to the 3DS in 2016. Nintendo released Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition on the Switch in 2018, which included new costumes for Link and Zelda for Breath of the Wild. Full transparency, this is one of my favorite games of all time. The gameplay perfectly blends the frantic horde combat of Dynasty Warriors with the lore and brilliance and character design spanning the entire Zelda franchise. The amount of fan service contained here is absolutely staggering. There is literally something for any fan of any entry in the series. The game has a tremendous amount of depth when you take in all of the DLC, alternate game modes, and higher level cap included in the Definitive Edition. I estimate I've put in over 500 hours across all iterations of the game, and there is still a massive amount I have yet to complete in the challenge maps. I would argue that this game is the best value for money of any game I can remember being released in recent history. That being said, it is first-party Nintendo, which means it is very rarely on sale or loses value. It is starting to dry up in stores, and I believe it was part of a batch of games Nintendo was no longer producing. I have never seen the price budge once since its release, and it currently sits at $50 complete in box. I suggest procuring a copy quick if you don't have it, as the first price movement I foresee will likely be up. Hello Kitty Cruisers was released in 2014 on the Wii U and ported to the Switch in 2018. It features 10 of the cute Sanrio characters racing what amounts to a Mario Kart clone game. I did stream it once for my community, and the gameplay was simple and enjoyable, if only for a short time. For a while on the Wii U, the game was very sought after, especially the special edition with a racing grip for the Wii U tablet that was UK exclusive. The Switch version currently goes for $59 complete in box. I advise caution, as some of this price may be leftover speculation from the days of the Wii U version. Leightons Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy was released for 3DS and mobile in 2017. A port for the Nintendo Switch was released the following year. The game follows the daughter of the world-famous hero archaeologist Professor Layton. Catriel is tasked with helping a talking dog cure his amnesia, trying to find her missing father, and opening her own detective agency. She will have to solve 12 unique cases along the way. Fun fact, I was not aware that the puzzles in the series were made by world-renowned scholars. Up until this entry, Akira Tago, a famed Japanese psychologist, had written the puzzles. Unfortunately, he died in 2016 and was replaced with Kuniaki Iwanami. Some fans of the series question the change in narrative structure from one large interconnected story to the smaller bits which are less connected in this entry. Regardless of the question of the storytelling method, the cases are fun and interesting, and the puzzles, while not brainbusters, are challenging, especially for someone new to the series or this type of game. The art is stunning, and the characters, especially Catriel herself, are charming and humorous. If you're interested in picking this one up, the 3DS original is about $10 cheaper than the Switch port, with them coming in at $55 and $66 complete in box, respectively. Blasphemous was released across multiple platforms in 2019. It's a Metroidvania-style game, in which our protagonist, the Penitent One, a member of a silent religious order, sets out on a pilgrimage to stop the corrupted Escobar, the leader of the church. The game features intense, dark religious imagery based on Spanish Catholicism and culture. The scenes of extreme violence, nudity, and Christian iconography may not be for everyone. The game is known for its impressive Metroidvania gameplay, a great and deep progression system, and its brutal difficulty. It also has received numerous free DLC updates that added much more to the gameplay and story on offer. The game received a long-awaited sequel in 2023. The original print of the deluxe edition is currently going for $115 complete in box, with their cover variant reprints still selling for well over $100 themselves. If you plan to pick this one up, time is of the essence. I can't imagine the prices, especially for the original print, coming down anytime soon. Well, that wraps up our list of 7 surprisingly valuable Switch games. This list is only made up of games I own. There are even more rare games on the Switch, including many from limited publishers and some pretty fancy collector's editions. What are some of your most valuable Switch games? Let us know down in the comments. If you like what we're doing here, drop us a like and sub, it really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay creepy.